Imagine a silent world wandering through the cold darkness between stars, a massive rogue planet with no sun to orbit, drifting for millions of years through the galaxy. Then one day, its path intersects with ours. Far beyond Pluto, astronomers detect a faint gravitational disturbance, a shadow that bends the orbits of distant objects. At first it seems like an anomaly, but calculations grow more alarming. A planet-sized body, cold and invisible, is heading toward the inner solar system. It has no atmosphere glowing in sunlight, no reflective surface to easily reveal it, only its immense gravity betrays its presence. Humanity watches in disbelief as the realization spreads: a rogue planet is on a collision course with Earth. Telescopes around the world and in orbit turn toward the approaching intruder. It appears as a dark sphere absorbing starlight, perhaps the size of Mars or even larger. Its trajectory is unrelenting, driven by cosmic momentum that cannot be easily altered. Scientists scramble to refine impact predictions. Governments begin to coordinate in secrecy at first, then in urgency. The time frame becomes clear: years, maybe decades, but not centuries. This is not a distant cosmic curiosity, it is a direct threat to every living being on Earth. The sky becomes a place of fear and fascination as humanity realizes it is witnessing a planetary-scale disaster in slow motion. As the rogue planet draws closer, its gravitational influence begins to affect the solar system long before impact. Comets are disturbed from their icy orbits and flung inward, increasing the number of meteor showers. Asteroids shift unpredictably, some pulled into dangerous paths toward Earth and Mars. Even the outer planets feel subtle changes in their orbital rhythms. On Earth, scientists measure tiny variations in the Moon's orbit and the tides. These shifts are small at first but undeniable. The rogue planet's gravity is like a giant hand reaching across space, tugging at everything in its path. Years before the collision, Earth's climate begins to change. The rogue planet's gravitational pull starts to disturb Earth's orbit slightly, causing subtle changes in seasons and ocean currents. Tidal forces grow stronger, creating higher tides and more powerful storms. Volcanic activity increases as the planet's crust experiences new stresses. Earthquakes become more frequent and intense. The sky itself begins to change as the rogue world becomes faintly visible to the naked eye, a dark starless sphere slowly growing larger each night. It becomes a constant presence in the heavens, a looming reminder of what is coming. Humanity responds with a mixture of innovation, denial, and desperation. Space agencies propose missions to alter the rogue planet's course, but the scale of the object makes such plans nearly impossible. Even the most powerful rockets and nuclear devices would barely scratch a world of that size. Some propose building underground cities or massive space habitats. Others focus on preserving knowledge, hoping that something might survive the impact. Religions, philosophies, and cultures interpret the approaching collision in their own ways. Some see it as an apocalypse, others as a test of unity. For the first time, the entire human species shares a single, undeniable threat. As the rogue planet enters the inner solar system, it becomes a dominant object in the sky. Nights grow brighter as it reflects sunlight, appearing larger than the Moon. Its gravity begins to pull at Earth's oceans with terrifying force, creating massive tidal surges that flood coastal regions. The Moon's orbit destabilizes, possibly leading to its ejection from orbit or even a collision with Earth before the rogue planet arrives. The sky fills with debris as asteroids and comets, disturbed by the intruder's gravity, rain down on Earth. Each impact is a reminder that the final collision is approaching. In the final months, the rogue planet dominates the horizon. It appears as a colossal sphere, its surface features visible even without telescopes. Its gravitational pull causes the Earth's crust to crack and shift. Volcanoes erupt across continents. Tides rise hundreds of meters, swallowing cities and reshaping coastlines. The atmosphere becomes turbulent, filled with ash, dust, and debris from constant impacts. The planet's rotation may even begin to wobble under the immense gravitational stress. The world as we know it begins to unravel before the collision even occurs. In the final days, the sky becomes a spectacle of cosmic terror. The rogue planet fills half the horizon, its surface looming like a dark wall in space. The gravitational forces between the two worlds cause massive earthquakes and tidal waves that circle the globe. The atmosphere heats up as friction from incoming debris and gravitational compression intensifies. The Moon, if still present, may be torn apart or flung into a new orbit. Satellites fall from the sky as orbital paths become chaotic. Humanity watches the end approach with a... Welcome back to WhatNext Era, where we explore the unimaginable and push the boundaries of human curiosity. Today, we dive deeper into a scenario so catastrophic it stretches the mind. What if a rogue planet collided with Earth? The enormity of such an event challenges our understanding of physics, survival, and the very nature of life itself. Even imagining it sends shivers down the spine, but it also awakens a sense of awe at the raw power of the cosmos. As the rogue planet approaches, the effects on Earth would intensify in ways that are almost impossible to fully comprehend. The crust would buckle under tidal stresses, triggering a chain reaction of earthquakes that ripple across continents simultaneously. Mountain ranges could collapse, creating global-scale landslides, while volcanoes erupt relentlessly, spewing ash and molten rock into the atmosphere. Oceans would heave, generating mega tsunamis that consume entire coastlines, and even the air itself would become a violent, turbulent sea of wind and fire. Humanity's cities, no matter how fortified, would be rendered almost meaningless in the face of such relentless forces. Beyond immediate destruction, the rogue planet's arrival would leave lasting cosmic scars. Debris ejected from Earth would orbit the new merged world, forming dense rings or asteroid clouds that could persist for centuries. The light of the sun, filtered through dust and ash, might cast an eternal twilight across the surface. Any remaining life would have to adapt to an alien landscape of molten plains, scorched oceans, and a sky dominated by a colossal celestial neighbor. Even in total devastation, the universe continues its cycle, reminding us that creation and destruction are intertwined. One planet's end could eventually be the cradle of a new beginning. The moment of collision would release an unimaginable amount of energy, far greater than any asteroid impact in Earth's history. Continents would shatter, oceans would vaporize, and the atmosphere would ignite. The two planetary bodies would not simply collide like billiard balls, they would merge in a catastrophic explosion of rock, magma, and vaporized metal. Shockwaves would travel through the molten remains, reshaping the combined mass into a new, unstable world. The impact would likely strip away much of Earth's atmosphere and send debris into space, forming rings or even new moons around the merged planet. In the aftermath, the solar system would be forever changed. A new planetary body might form from the remnants of Earth and the rogue planet, glowing with molten heat for thousands of years. Debris from the collision would scatter across the solar system, potentially impacting other planets. Mars and Venus would experience meteor storms from the fallout. The Sun would continue to shine on a system that no longer contains the blue world we once knew. The story of Earth would become a memory etched into cosmic dust. If any life were to survive, it would likely be microbial, buried deep beneath the surface or carried into space on fragments of rock. Over millions of years, if conditions allowed, life might begin again on the newly formed world or on another planet seeded by debris from the collision. The universe has a way of continuing even after catastrophic events. Stars explode, planets collide, and yet new systems form from the remnants. The destruction of Earth would be a tragedy on an unimaginable scale, but it would also be part of the ongoing cycle of cosmic creation and transformation. The idea of a rogue planet colliding with Earth reminds us of both our vulnerability and our place in the vast universe. Our planet feels stable and permanent, yet it exists in a dynamic cosmic environment where even worlds can wander and collide. Such an event is extraordinarily unlikely in any given human lifetime, but imagining it forces us to confront the fragility of our existence. It also highlights the importance of scientific observation, global cooperation, and our desire to understand the universe. In the face of cosmic forces, humanity's greatest strength may be its ability